Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Charul Jaitley. I'm the co-founder and managing partner of Matiti Group. Matiti People is a part of Matiti Group. And today I am kicking off a series on perspectives. And what I want to be able to achieve in this series is first give you an insight on what perspective really is and why is it important. And then through the next few episodes here, we will talk about how perspectives play an important role in certain aspects of our life. And we'll touch upon the key elements of our life, which is our work life, our personal life, our relationships, our thoughts and emotions. But today is the kickoff, and today what I really want to focus on is first for all of us to align and understand what is perspective meaning, why is it important, and what are, according to me, the 6 key tips for you to start to change your perspective. So without further ado, let's begin. So the literal meaning of the word perspective, as per the dictionaries, as per the Google searches, is really the way of looking at things, the way we see things. And to give you an example, I get reminded often of my learning from my school days when my school teacher would divide the class into two teams, and she would draw this number on the floor and ask both the teams to tell her what the number was. So I hope, and I know some of you are guessing this already, so half of the class standing on one side of the number would call it a 6, and the other half, the second team, which was on the other end of the number, would call it a 9. Now, if I am in the team which sees the number as 6, and you are in a team which sees the number as 9, for me to just assume that you're completely wrong, do you think is acceptable? If I was to only move from my position to you, just take a few steps, come around, I think it will give a whole new meaning to the word that is written on the floor. And this is what I'm trying to convey here. Why perspective is important is because it plays a very, very important role in our relationships, in our professional lives, in our personal lives, in our growth, in our understanding of matters around the world, in politics, in pleasure, in pain, in love, in suffering, in all these very, very important aspects and phases of our life. How we perceive things, what is our perspective on life and matters, can really be a deal breaker for all of us. So in our normal day-to-day life, we can choose to be the adults who refuse to agree to disagree and result in heated arguments, quarrels, difference of opinions, and perhaps lose any chance of building a relationship, a close-knit relationship. Or we can choose to be those adults who are willing to explore other person's points of view, other person's perspective, and willing to see the 6 as a 9 or a 9 as a 6 in this analogy, and might perhaps lead in handshakes or hugs, and might lead to a bridge to building relationships between these two adults. I would highly recommend that we all start to practice living in a state of seeing things from a positive perspective. And if you do not know how to do that, or if you are somebody who relates into the other category, what I'm about to share is my 6 key tips to having a positive perspective on life. So the first tip is consciously seek happiness. Now what I mean by that is you can, looking at the situations and surroundings around you or in your day-to-day life, there's only that much that you can control. However, what you can control is your response, your mechanism to those stimuli around you. So what I'm proposing in this step is consciously seek happiness, consciously look at things from a positive perspective. The second tip is please stop complaining. Stop complaining today. Find your own mechanism. Bite your tongue, twitch your thumb, I don't know, make a star with a pen in your hand that reminds you that you have made a promise to yourself to stop complaining. Find a mechanism, but stop complaining about every or anything in your day-to-day life, because it's a mental muscle, it's a habit. And once you stop complaining and you consciously start to seek happiness, you will start to see that your perspective will very, very easily and slowly and gradually shift to looking at things very, very positively. The third tip is, please limit your social media trolling. The reason I say that is, and it's a lesson that I've learned with my own experience, is many a times, the influencers will talk about a subject, and the followers, which could be, you or people will read the influencer's take on subjects through their own perspective, right? Some people will not even understand what is the real meaning of what's being conveyed. And regardless of what you think about it or what the influencer is trying to convey, different followers from different parts of the world will have a different take on it. From their perspective, it would mean different things. Now, to some extent, it's good because it makes you aware of what's happening around in the world, what are the moods and emotions of people on different subjects, but only go into the details of all those feedbacks and followers' perspective if that is a subject of high importance to you. So the fourth tip is to uncover your blind spots. I think what's most important is first to acknowledge that there are blind spots. Believe me, even if you've thought about it before or not, every place or every aspect of life, whether it is at home, at work, while you're driving, if you are in a social group, the network that you hang out with, there are blind spots everywhere. And by that I mean, just be aware of the place you occupy in these forums or in these places. Give you an example. I'm an Asian woman. I'm middle-aged. I passed out from a renowned university. I have great academics backing my CV. And I have accomplishments that I'm proud of. And when I sit with a group of, let's say, people in a network, I must know where my place is and what are my blind spots. Is there somebody who could have had lesser education but far greater experience than I have? There could be somebody who comes from a different background where they had to make a lot of compromise as a woman or as a girl or as a female child or female member of the family. So I'm not going to go on about it, but I think you get it. So be mindful of your blind spots and spend some time figuring out what are your blind spots. Our fifth tip in changing the perspective is be aware of the invisible. Now, when I talk about invisible aspects, I'm referring to the person's mental health, the person's past experiences, the person's emotions, memories, and any things which are beyond their physical self and have greater value and impact on how they see things, how they perceive things, how they perceive life. And last but not the least, my sixth tip for changing your perspective is please listen to others. And when I say listen to others, you're actually listening to their perspective. You're listening to their side of the story. We all are brought up very differently. We all have had different kind of lessons that we've learned as kids or young adults, and we've had different experiences which have shaped us to becoming who we are today. So let's value that. Let's give ourselves the opportunity of listening to others, and I'm telling you, more often than not, you will find that you're so surprised, overwhelmed, and touched by what others have to say about things that you thought you knew already. On that note, I will take a bow. I hope you find the video interesting, and if you do, please go like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I will be back in the next couple of days, where we will touch upon the key aspects of life where perspectives are very, very important. Until the next time, you take care, and I will see you on the other side. This is Charul Jetli saying bye-bye for now.